Hello again, it's the stay-at-home dad gamer, and we're gonna sack it up with Little Big Planet Karting. I played this at PAX a few days ago, and just gonna give you all a few impressions of what it was like to play it. Now, when I was starting up, the guy gave me the quick and dirty of the how to control it, and it made sense. You know, it's gas and use weapon and the sliding. That was all fine. And then he's like, oh, and this button's grapple. That's fine. I got it. So I'm playing, and the grapple point I completely missed. And then the guy hopefully says, I told you this button was grapple. And I said, yes, thank you. The problem was, in a karting game, maybe this is my fault, I don't play a whole lot of them, is that I look at the track. I'm trying to look at where the racers are and make sure I don't run into anything. The grapple point was up in the sky, and the Little Big Planet sign that tells me to do it is up there as well. And that might work in platforming, but I missed it the first time, which caused me to lose several seconds as I fell in the water and had to respawn. But it just kind of annoyed me because I didn't know to look up there. For future things, yeah, I knew where it was. So if you know a track, as most racing games, you'll do a lot better. It seemed a little counterintuitive to put it in a place where maybe people aren't looking. That could also be just my problem, as I don't play a whole lot of racing and karting games. Other than that, the steering felt a little loose. Now, maybe you can get different karts. Maybe it's like Mod Nation where you upgrade them so you can customize how the kart is if you want, you know, good acceleration, turning, gripping. Maybe. I don't know. There was no choice of karts. It just started. So it felt really loose to me. I didn't really have any trouble staying on the track. Just turning was really wide. I didn't like slip or anything. It wasn't like that horrible slipping from the actual game. But I just felt all my turns were really wide. It was hard to make a concise turn. And the weapons in there, I don't know if there's really only, I think it was like two. I just kind of had I had like a bomb that I could shoot out or a missile that would go out, and that seemed to be it. The turbo boost, really quickly, was cool because it was a little rocket pack that you get in the game, which I thought that was a neat little addition to take something like just the boost panel but make it more Little Big Planet. But that aside, I only had the two weapons, and the little icons look very similar, so there might only be two weapons. And I don't think that's that great an idea. Maybe they're just trying to keep it simple to fit with the spirit of the game. But it felt like there wasn't any variance to them. There's just lob a bomb or shoot a missile. And at least the stage I was in, I don't know if it was complete or if it's supposed to be like this, and it was a beach area, tropical area, but it was really sparse. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the background. Maybe that's intentional, so you focus on the track. But there weren't a whole lot of things to run into. Wasn't a whole lot of scenery. It was very brown, light brown, like the sand color, and the backgrounds were like that cardboard color. And just that stage wasn't very visually appealing. It wasn't interesting. So I actually, based off that little bit and the little bit I've played Mod Nation, I think Mod Nation looked better. The tracks had more life to them. It felt like somebody put effort into this. It wasn't just kind of slapped in there, or they took care to make it look visually interesting. One thing that is cool that they announced, this doesn't have to do with the show, just in general for Little Big Planet Karting, is they said most costume DLCs will work with the game, which really they should do, but it's awesome because it helps tie them together, so you feel more inclined to buy a costume because you can use it in 1 and 2. Well, not all of them in 1, but you can use them in 1 if you bought them there, bought them in 2, and you can use them in the karting, and that's a really good way to help sell them because people will see more value if they do that, and that's a great idea. Thankfully they did that. It's a good decision. It's a smart decision. It's the right one. Kudos to them for that. And with regard to the game, I'm fairly sure if you liked Little Big Planet, you will most likely like this game. Now, obviously, I didn't get to make tracks or any of that stuff, and I know Mod Nation had a really good track editor. I imagine the Sackboy one will be the same, just I hope it's at least as good. But you will add more Little Big Planet stuff, like you might be able to make actual obstructions by constructing things together. So it should actually be a better one. I hope it's at least as good. It should actually be much better. And hopefully you can make more colorful backgrounds than the one I played in. For me, a giant detractor for this game, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but should they even make this game? It feels like an early 2000s joke, or even earlier, of, you know, here's a game, and then, oh, we make a crazy karting version of it, like Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars karting. Oh, people don't buy Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot karting. It kind of feels, did they really run out of ideas for Little Big Planet that they can't expand upon it further? So they're just like, oh, let's just make a crazy karting game. Because I was always under the impression, I know that they were made by different companies as far as I remember, that Mod Nation was supposed to be the Little Big Planet of racing games. So making a Little Big Planet karting game almost feels redundant in that respect. And also, I don't even know if that's the next logical step. It doesn't feel like a cash-in, because I don't know, maybe it does to me feel like a cash-in. But there's effort put into the game and all this stuff, so it's not a cheap cash-in. It's just, it feels odd that they would even make it. It might end up being a great game, might sell 18 million copies. I don't know. Just for me, it felt a little loose, and the stage I was in didn't look very nice. I hope the track creator is better than Mod Nation, but I'm really not sure why they made this game. So there it is. Take it for what it's worth. Thanks for watching.